Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So how has having a baby affected my marriage and myself? So as far as myself, my body has changed in a lot of different ways, and I do know it's still early. Like, my son will be 3 months in a few days, and my body has went through a lot of changes. Like, my stretch marks are lightening up, I guess. Like, they're not as harsh of a line, but I'll put like a picture or do like a little video or something in there. So I guess that'll be my postpartum body update. Okay guys, so this way, as y'all can see, my love handles are like bigger, and my waist line is not as small as it used to be. And now for the big reveal, y'all can see the stretch marks. They not, if y'all look at my older pictures, they not as dark as they used to be, but baby, they still there, okay? They still there. And then after having him, it seemed like I got more stretch marks. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. It seemed like I had some dark ones and they went away, but then I got these lighter stretch marks like all up here. But my stomach is not half as big as it was. But the issue that I have is like this little, whatever this layering is, like, I guess somebody told me it was loose skin. Like, your skin takes time to go back to normal, so give it like 6 months. Because I'm actively breastfeeding, I don't really know how my breasts have changed. Right now, they're significantly larger than what they were. My hair grew so much. I now go through these, like, I'll be really hot. Before I got pregnant, I was always a really, it's like cold person. Like, I was very easily made cold or whatever. But since having my son, I need the AC to be on a lower number. I'm sweating more than what I was before. And like I said, it is still early, so these things may change. Other than that, I think everything for my body went back to the same. As far as my marriage goes, I think that having a child has affected us in a very positive way. When we first had our son, it was so challenging because it's like, you want to remember to take care of self, and you want to remember to take care of your significant other and still check in with them, still meet whatever their needs are, still tend to them, still love on them, still care for them. But we were both so engulfed and in love with our son that a lot of times we wouldn't really, I don't want to say not pay attention to each other, but not really pay attention to each other. Like, it would be so many times that we would have Isaiah and like not even hear what the other person said. Like, huh, what? Like, but it wasn't a bad thing. Like, neither one of us took it personal. We just realized like our son is priority. Our son is so important to us. But we did get back to a point of like, once we would get him situated, give him his bath, and get him in the bed and stuff at night, or even just during his nap time during the day, we would sit down and spend like quality time together, rather be watching the show, checking in with each other, like, how you feeling, what's going on. And we also would spend like a lot of family time together. So as we do tummy time, that's like time for us to be together. His bath time, time for us to be together. While I'm nursing Isaiah, if he's like sleeping kind of while he's nursing, we'll like do our check-in and stuff then. So we found a balance, I guess, but it is a little complex in the beginning because you have this brand new baby in the house, which is like a shiny toy for a kid, which we were the kids, and that in that metaphor, we're the kids or whatever. At least 85-90% of our conversation is about Isaiah. Rather it be us sending pictures back and forth, talking about what he did that was so funny, we talk while Zay's at work, and most of the time we're on FaceTime making silly faces and sounds at Isaiah. If I leave the house, like let's say I go out on a girls' day or something like that, I'm always on the phone, and we're always like, once when we're checking in like, how's Isaiah? And then it's like, do you need anything? Like, are you okay? But the vast majority of our conversation is about him. It's like, I love that, because like we prioritize him so much, and it makes our relationship that much better too. Because when I feel like when you actually care and love someone, and you see them loving on your child and being so attentive to your child and nurturing and things like that, it shows you them in a new light, which is how I feel like when I see my husband doing things. Like, I'm gonna insert this video. It's so cute. It be making me all teary-eyed, but I'm gonna put it in there. Put it in here, like a little clip or something.
You like that? Yeah. I know you do. I know you do, silly baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my silly baby.
I just think it just shows you that person in a whole new light. Like when I had Isaiah, it was so different, the type of compliments that my husband would give me versus before. Like now he's always telling me how I'm such a great mom, and he loves to see me like with Isaiah. So like I always send him pictures of me and him like doing nothing basically, because Isaiah's too small to really do anything. But it's beautiful, and like to see him interact with Isaiah. So to me, it has affected my marriage in a positive manner. I would say if you're not in a good place in your marriage or relationship or whatever, a baby is not going to help that, because if you're not in a good place, then a baby is going to shine light on that, basically. Not that it's the baby's doing, but having a baby is a life change. So if you have a baby, and like let's say y'all already have issues with communication or issues with I don't know, the person being responsible or whatever, then having a baby is going to really show that, because one or both of the parents are going to feel very protective over the child. So if you already feel like you can't trust the person, then you're not going to trust them with the child, which in turn is going to turn into this whole big thing, and just so on and so forth. So please, for the love of God, don't be one of those people that think a baby is going to keep a man or keep a woman, or don't try to trap nobody. If y'all are not ready for a baby, I don't recommend having a baby. Yes, they are blessings and beautiful bundles of joy, but they will shine a light on whatever issues you already have, and maybe show you something that you didn't necessarily know you had an issue with until you had a child. Life changes though, like aside from marriage, I will say that I don't feel like my life has changed much aside from my son, of course. Like everything I do, I move according to having his best interests at heart. So even if I get invited somewhere, if I know that like these people have been around a whole bunch of people, or you know, this person may have been sick, or this person may have had a cold, or this person's baby had a cold, or you know, this person had a child that's around you know, like icky yucky child age, where they're like touching everything and putting everything in their mouths, and they sneeze and snot bubbles, and they just all that kind of stuff, then I limit my exposure to those people. But when I come in the house, especially due to the pandemic and everything that's going on, I don't grab Isaiah right away. I'll like speak to him, but I don't get too close to him until I've taken off whatever clothes I wore out the house. We already don't wear outside clothes in the bed. Like that's like no, we take that stuff off before we even lay down or sit down on the bed or anything like that. Childcare is usually an issue with people, and that should be included in the life changes, but I'm not really affected by that due to me being a stay-at-home mom. Like, my husband goes to work, and I basically schedule my appointments for times that he's not scheduled to work. As far as going out, like getting out, as far as like a social life, this is my mom's first grandchild, so this is basically her son. So she's always like wanting him, which I love and appreciate so much, because I think that that's always something that goes through people's mind, or people assume like once you have a child, your life is over, like you can't do anything. And that's not the case. I even have like my closest friends can come sit with him, like if I want to run to the grocery store, because I don't feel comfortable taking him in the grocery store yet, just because it's way too many people, too much traffic that goes through the grocery store and stuff like that. I don't know if I said it already, but Zay will sit with him and vice versa. Like if Zay is going out to do something, like I'll have him, obviously. What else? Let's see. Life changes. I don't really struggle in the sleep area because he does really good with sleeping. Even when his schedule, like he's not really on a schedule. He just kind of does what he wants to do right now, because he's at that age where I can't really put him on a schedule because he's so small. But he does pretty good with that. And then Zay'll have him, like I told y'all before, most of the nights Zay has him unless he's working overnight. Then of course I have him, but the sleep schedule doesn't really bother me none, or the lack thereof. It doesn't really bother me any, because I still have to get up and pump even if my son is asleep. So yeah, let's see. I think that's about it. Like, I'm not really affected by, like, my friendships and things like that have not changed due to the fact that all my friends prayed and manifested and had their hand out waiting on this baby. So they all be like, when can I come see my nephew, girl? Like, so I don't, like, my relationships haven't changed in that sense. My conversation has, like, almost all of my conversations somehow come back full circle to my son or how he is or whatever. And I don't really talk to nobody that don't ask about my son. No, I don't talk to anyone who doesn't ask about my son or, you know, how he is or whatever. Also, for me, it's like very motivating. Like, I have found a new type of drive because I have a new inspiration, which is my son. And even though I felt it come in while I was pregnant, and when I found out that I was pregnant, it's so much more now that he's physically here, because I have those big old brown eyes looking up at me, and I have this baby who, you know, he didn't ask to be here. So I got to go harder for him and make sure that he has everything that his heart could ever desire and then some, because especially because he's an only child. Like, this is my only child, okay? So I am all about Isaiah, all about him, like totally about him. Like, if I don't have something, I'm fine as long as my son got what he need. If I, you know, feel a little tired, I'm fine, because that's my son and I wanted him and he was prayed for and all this other stuff. But that's all I can think of. But give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, comments, all that good stuff or whatever.